What's going on, guys? Welcome back to some more TMNT standard content here on the channel, and we are playing Monument to Endurance today. Not the Monument deck that you may have seen pop up before. This particular deck list is coming to us from user Cave Dan on MTGO, which I believe, correct me in the comment section, I believe Cave Dan is part of the Faithless Brewing, so definitely go ahead and check them out for sure. What we are doing here is we're taking the Black Monument shell. So that shell being Iron Shield Elf, which is a card that you just allows you to discard cards, 2 mana 3/1, make it indestructible to discard. Bloodthorn Flail, which is a 1 mana equipment you can equip by discarding a card to give equipped creature +2/+1. Moon Shadow, which 1/1 for 1. Whenever a permanent goes into your graveyard, you remove a -1/-1 counter, all the way up to it being a 7/7 menace for just a single mana. Now, a lot of the times when you see these cards, they're paired with Fear of Missing Out, Marauding Mako, NT, and then Cool But Rude. And honestly, a lot of the recent Rakdos decks have actually moved away from a card like Monument to Endurance because they're making room for Cool But Rude. Monument to Endurance does offer you a little bit more in terms of card advantage because you get to draw cards off of it, you can make treasures. The big difference here is Monument to Endurance does not nearly kill as fast as Cool But Rude because it's limited to once per turn. Technically twice because you can do it once on your turn and once on their turn, but for the most part it's once per turn. So we've replaced those red cards and we are playing with Scrounging Skyray, which if you think about it, is kind of just a blue version of Mako with flying. It is 2 mana, so definitely not as good as Mako, but flying does help a lot. The second plane of toughness, also relevant in some situations. And then the other card here, Gran Gran. Normally you associate this with a bunch of lessons, but Gran Gran kind of just is a good discard outlet. For tapping it, you can attack with it. You can also tap it to something like Springleaf Drum if you can't really afford to attack with it to get that extra loot in. Trigger stuff like Scrounging Skyray, trigger Moon Shadow. And then the blue also opens up the ability to play something like Likeness Looter, which is powerful because it is a constant discard outlet. You can tap it to loot, but also if you have a Moon Shadow in the graveyard, you can have the looter become a copy of the Moon Shadow, and the way that it works is that Moon Shadow only enters with the -1/-1 counters. So if you have the looter become a copy of it, you just get a 7/7 Flying Menace. That's pretty good. And then, well, I mean, we're a blue deck, so I guess we'll play some Quantum Riddlers. I will say Quantum Riddler, powerful card. I'm not trying to say that it's not powerful, but in this deck, you really get to use all parts of the Buffalo with Riddler. Because what ends up happening is because you have so many discard outlets like Iron Shield Elf and Bloodthorn Flail that let you discard cards at will, you get into a lot of situations where you play Riddler with 1 card in hand, draw 2. You can then discard 2 of those cards to something like Iron Shield or Bloodthorn Flail, get some sort of advantage, whether you have a Skyray or a Moon Shadow, and then you can use your looters, like Gran Gran and Likeness Looter, to then draw cards. Now that you have 1 card in hand, you'll draw 2 off the Riddler, discard 1 of those, convert the extra 1, draw again, draw 2, you get the idea. So when you have a Riddler in this deck, you can really pop off and convert those extra cards into meaningful resources if you have Skyray or Moon Shadow. We also have a couple of Cecils in here just to be able to give us more 1-drops to equip Bloodthorn Flail to. Also, giving Cecil +2 power, pretty good because you can flip it a lot faster. That comes up from time to time. And then the traditional removal spells like Bitter Triumph and Requiting Hex, nothing too crazy there. Mana based, nothing fancy, bunch of dual lands, couple of basic swamps. And then in the sideboard, just stuff you would expect. There's some counter spells, couple of Wan Shi Tongs down here, some graveyard hate. Nothing too fancy there. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys this deck list as a different way to build the Monument decks where they don't always have to be Rakdos. And I will say I was pretty impressed with this deck list. So definitely want to go ahead and give it a try. Before we get started on today's video, I just wanted to say thank you all for supporting the channel over the past, couple of months. It's been a little rough with TMNT, the numbers are definitely down. If I could ask you one thing, just leave a comment in the comment section down below. It's one of the most important things with regards to the YouTube algorithm, just to make sure that people are engaging with the video and things like that. So leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what your favorite deck has been over the past couple of weeks. And with all of that, I will see you back here in just a little bit for the first match. Okay, I can work with this. Say it's not bad. Got a little turn 1 Moon Shadow, turn 2 Looter, set up a Monument, turn 3. Yeah, this hand looks fine. Lands and spells that work. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like the Rakdos. A lot of the Rakdos decks that I've seen have been cutting Monument anyways for Cool but Rude. So it's like, if you're not going to play both anyways, you might as well. I do think Cool but Rude is better than Monument for what it's worth, just because it's not gated to once per turn. But if you're choosing to not play both of them, it's like it's probably worth exploring a shell that, you know, that just cuts the red entirely. Mm, let's do this. I think I'm just gonna make a treasure to deploy the other shadow. I could have discarded the shadow, made a treasure, and then made a 7/7 looter. Maybe that was better? I don't know. It's kind of close. The issue with doing that is I lose the looter. So if I do that, then I can't loot next turn to, like, trigger the monument, grow the shadows, etc., you know what I mean? Ooh. I like that. I mean, now they might just be dead, right? So this is 9. I can make it 11. They go to 3. Yeah, I should do that. And now any creature is lethal, right? Because any creature lets me just discard to the flail and then deal them 3 with Monument. Creature! Oh, I guess I could have just cycled the Skyray too, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Take 3. See ya. Can Looter change himself back? No. Well, if there's another Looter, yes, but once you activate the X ability, it becomes a copy of the creature, which means that it just it loses the other abilities that it had before. Oh, yeah. So when it refers to this ability, it's referring to the X ability, not the looting ability. So you still get to do the X of it, but you can't loot anymore once you do the X ability. I think that's it. Maybe Tactics is good against them. Spray bad, Hex bad. Bitter isn't fantastic here. It's okay. Cecil is kind of whatever. Stories can also maybe go. Let's keep 1 Cecil. Actually, no, I like the stories. Let's try that. Stories can help us just pop off with the monuments, maybe. One land. I don't think I can keep this chat. Yo, GG's, Benson. GG's. I don't think I want this. Even if we draw a land, it's not fantastic, right? Yeah. Okay. This is one I can work with. I think I'm putting back... It's got to be Detect, right? And then we just go... Moon Shadow Elf Monument. Maybe Vacuum Elf Monument. Overgrown Tomb Pass. Well, in that case, I'll play Ghost Vacuum. Ooh. I don't know what to play this turn. I was gonna jam Elf, but Elf is a little bit worse because I don't have a third land rolled up. Maybe it's just Double Shadow. Yeah, it probably is Double Shadow. I think if I had a third land in hand, I'd probably play the Elf that turn. Because then I'm guaranteed to cast the Monument the turn after. But without a third land, it's a lot worse. At the Drumsmith, this is only the first match and we haven't drawn it yet. I do think that they're a little sketchy because you don't have a ton of creatures to pair with them, but it's so good with Grand that I think the upside is pretty high. And you have some other creatures like, you know, maybe sometimes you want to tap a shadow to it. Not ideal, but you know what I mean? It's just the upside is so high with Grand that I think it makes a lot of sense. Going after the Vacuum, huh? The Suck. Okay. The fact that, like, you get to stack the Wistfulness and you can't exile it with the Ghost Vacuum is so gross. Because they just get a free creature in the graveyard off of that. Oh, okay. Well. Oh, draw. They wouldn't happen to discard a Bringer of the Last Gift now, would they? Well, it's not Bringer. It's not looking good, chat. I should have done it this way. That was stupid. I guess I'm going to discard the Riddler. I should have done it this way, though. This was bad. No, I want to keep the Elf. Because now I can go do it this way. Discard this. Make a treasure and just cast the Elf. I think that's right. And then just pass on this. Yeah. Because I need to play around them having a kill spell next turn. I think that was right. I don't know. Maybe that was bad. You could do some really cool stuff with, like, Bloodthorn Flail, Monument, Riddler. Because you get the discard as part of the cost, which means you have less cards in hand, and then you know what I mean? Like, you can really pop off with that kind of stuff. It gets even better if you have Cool But Rude too, but, you know, we're not playing red. Yeah, Riddler is nice. So they're trying to copy Arden. Do you think they have a kill spell as their last card? Kind of have to play around it, don't I? Yeah. I do think they have a kill spell as their last card, so I'm not going to use the elf here. Okay. Well, that actually doesn't do anything, because they're copying Arden. Shit. Yeah, that doesn't accomplish that much. So I guess we just have to find a Ghost Vacuum. All right, let's start here. I'm going to start here. See where this takes me. No, Cavero's not a triggered ability. When the process of it coming into play is there's not a trigger. So it's entering as a copy of the creature already. So even if you counter, the only trigger that happens when it comes into play is the exiling of the creature. But you can't, like, stop them from getting an Arden. Yeah, it's replacement effect. No matter what, they get an Arden. Oh, there's the vacuum. This kind of worked out perfectly, didn't it? I think this worked out as good as it possibly could have. They can make me discard the Riddler now, though, if they want to. Ghost Vacuum. Alright, your turn. Hold. So if they play Spider-Man, we exile Arden. They can Wistfulness the Monument? Which I guess, I mean, might as well discard this, right? Because we're going to lose it anyways. They can use their kill spell now, which is a little unfortunate, but there was no way for me to prevent that. No! Alright, fuck. Maybe I was supposed to not draw a card there, just in case I drew a creature or artifact for the tactics. Yeah, that might have been better. Wait, if I draw a land, I could just get an Arden. I didn't draw a land, but... I'm fairly certain you can keep choosing a Cavero in the graveyard and get a bunch of triggers that way, but I don't think there's a way to turn. Yeah. Yeah, you can, like, copy... Well, no, because they exile, right? So you copy Cavero, it enters play, choose the other... You know what I mean? It's like... There's no way to actually, like, turn that into meaningful things, right? I don't think so. I'm trying to think if I should hardcast this one or warp this one. I think I'm supposed to hardcast this one, honestly. Because I just want to get a threat into play. They only have one card in hand. It's just a Spider-Man. Which, to be fair, they can copy a Riddler, but theirs is only a 4/4. All right, how about this? How about... Obligatory. Okay. Oh. I mean, they weren't necessarily dead, but... 6, 7... Like, enter as a Spider-Man. Enter it. I don't think that works. Because it never creates a trigger. You know what I mean? Because the process of it entering the battlefield, the trigger only happens once it's in play. You know what I mean? So I don't think that actually works. Yeah, I don't see why it would work that way either. That would be kind of weird if it did, honestly. Right, but what I'm saying is that the only thing that ever creates the trigger to... Like, the replacement effect is not what removes the card from the graveyard. It's the trigger of upon entering the battlefield. So what are you saying? Like, when it comes into play, you'll have 4 separate triggers to exile all the Caveros? That wouldn't make sense, though, right? I mean, it wouldn't make sense to me, but... Maybe I'm just not understanding how the rules work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, because the trigger only happens when it finally enters the battlefield, not like mid-resolution. It is a weird ass card, yeah. It is a very, very strange card, to be fair. Did it work like that on Arena for a little bit? I guess I never really tried it. That's crazy if that worked like that. Oops. So, read any good books lately? So, your turn. I pass. Diamond is the hardest magic on the planet. Yeah. Once I feel like once everybody gets to Diamond 1, they just become like the most try-hard individuals in the entire world, you know. It's like they're so close to mythic they can taste it. Which is fair. I understand. I respect that, you know. I just like, you know, I got a tight ship to run and you guys don't want to watch me play Bachamel Cup for 6 hours. So, can't exactly do that, you know. I don't think anybody actually wants to see that ever, for whatever it's worth. See, I don't actually think they're having fun. I think they're having negative fun, to be honest with you. I don't know how anybody would find this fun. All right, Deathmark in, Tactics in, Hex in. What do we cut against them? I guess Looter's kind of slow, huh? Just do a completely silent Badgermilk Cup stream. Honestly, if yeah, call it like hashtag hard testing or whatever, you know, just no mic the whole time. I guess people just have different priorities, you know. To be quite honest with you, winning is not everything for me. I'd much rather just play interesting decks and provide you like at least somewhat enjoyable content than just like, you know, bash my head against the wall with Badgermilk Cup for 6 hours straight. Like I just couldn't do that. That's just not me, you know. If that's you, then that's fine, but I could never fucking do that. I would go insane. Earthbend triggers to fall asleep to. That's a good title of a video right there. It's a really, really good title of a video. I wouldn't mind a stream of Lantern. I could never do that. You got it, Chief. It's dead. I could care less if they kill the drum, so... I do need to find a Riddler at some point, though. I assume this is draw, right? Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really hard to pay attention. Like, it's hard for me to get engaged and involved with the game when I just play against these decks. I don't like, and that's just me, you know. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but it's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to like. Does anybody else feel that way? Maybe I'm the only person, but like I genuinely just am bored. You know what I mean? The play patterns of these decks is just so repetitive. You know what I mean? Just very uninteresting. Is it the cub or the hoof nature that bores me? Mostly cub. But I guess the thing about cub is, like, in those games, like, they don't last very long, you know? They last, like, 5 turns, maybe tops. I do enjoy Modern a lot more, yeah. Modern is great. Iron Shield Elf. I could play Turtle Drafts instead. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Chief. You could just equip this for 3 mana. Alright, fucking 5 I guess. Go. Do they really just have only lands in hand? Well. Alright, go, I guess. They'll do something eventually. Okay, 2/3 secured. I don't even want to let them jump block. I don't know what's happening right now. I've never seen a draw this bad out of a Cub deck. Not in a million years. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know it was possible for them to draw this bad. I should have played this pre-combat, but... Alright, your turn. Okay, there's a cub. Just dead to the Skyray, though. Yeah, man, I don't know. I've just never seen it happen, so I didn't... I didn't know this was within their range. Alright, game 3. This hand looks pretty good. I'm in there. I mean, this is just everything you ever want. Got options. Gene. Quantum Ridley Diddley. Which 2 spells do I play this turn? Kind of think it's both of the creatures. And then just like flail, discard land, equip, attack with Grand, trigger, discard, pump. Yeah, I think that's fine. This also gives me something to equip with the flail, even if they have Unable to Scream, which I kind of think they might have. Okay. One. Just an elf. Hmm. 1, 2. So if I go, it's a lot of work to net. Like I could do a bunch of stuff here where I go like flail, warp Riddler, discard, equip Grand Grin, attack, draw 2, discard 1. But that just seems kind of pointless, right? Let's just not do that. Guess we just go attack first. I should have attacked before anything else, but I think this is fine. Just pass on this. Well, it's not really a draw 4, because I end up having to discard 2 of them anyways. So it's like, I don't... Is that worth it? Maybe. I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe it was. Yeah, if they didn't kill the Moonshadow, I would have done that for sure. Because then I could have had a 6/6 Moonshadow or whatever. But without the Moonshadow, that was the whole point, right? It's like, with the Moonshadow in play, that's a lot better. But without the Shadow, it just doesn't accomplish that much, you know? Seam Rip. Right. Yeah, that's fair. Now I can't really attack into the Gear Hole, because they're gonna Seam Rip the Iron Shield Elf. I've liked this Dimir deck so far. It's been pretty cool. Well, it's interesting. Okay, that's actually kind of hot. Because now I can do this. Do it this way? Okay. I forgot. Have I played a land this turn? I haven't, right? Have I? Oh, I played the Verge. Right, I played the Verge. Yeah, okay. I did play the Verge. I think I'm just gonna do this anyways, though. Well, actually, there's no point, right? The point would be they have like a fight spell, maybe. But if they have a fight spell, it's Melt Striders, which makes it +0/+2 anyways. So, well, no, I guess the point could be they could like kill the Bloodthorn Flail, and I just want an extra counter on the Skyray. Maybe that's the point. Dude, Springleaf Drum with Grand Grand is kind of sick. That's a pretty cool engine. I do like that. Especially with the Skyray, too. I wish that I could have done it in a different order. Like, I wish I could have played the Skyray first and then tap the Grand Grand, but I couldn't do that. Because I needed to play the drum in order to play the Skyray. Yeah. Second Gear Hulk. Yeah, see, the problem is they just go get in their Seam Rip, right? Like, my Skyray's dead. This kind of sucks. Not much I can do about that. Dude, these fucking Gearhulks, man. They just keep finding more Gearhulks. There's not really a lot I can do about it, too. Like, maybe if you kill the first Gearhulk, but... They killed Gran Gran? Okay, that is shocking to me. That is very shocking to me. I mean, there's still not really a lot I can do here, you know? Yeah, just chaining Gearhulks is so good in these kind of fair games. It's all bad. It's all bad. I guess I'll kill an elf. I'm actually going to play the Iron Shield Elf and just basically discard a card to fog it. Oh, wait, no, this is fine. This is fine. Right, we're good. I knew there was a reason I did it in this order. I knew there was a reason I did it in this order. I scared myself for a second because I thought that I couldn't activate this in combat, but I can. Oh, this thing has trample anyways, huh? Maybe I'm supposed to leave the Skyray on defense? You know what I could have also... Well, no, because if I discard to equip, then I can't give Indestructible on defense. So I can't really do that. Man, that's tough. Yeah, Mockingbird keeps the Gearhulk casting cost. So this is a 4-mana card. I can't hex it. I guess I'm going to take this, because blocking is kind of pointless. Defense? Defense can't be right. Well, they could have 2 First Strike flying blockers. I'm going to take this either way, though. That's bad. Mockingbird, 1 unknown card. So I guess we'll play this. I should have put my land first. What am I discarding? I guess the land? I think it's got to be the land, right? Yeah, I just need to make a 5/5 Skyray is what I'm getting at. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Defense! Dimir from 32nd from SEA. I didn't see the deck list. What was the Dimir deck list? Like, how is it different than the other Dimir decks? I mean, yeah, but, like, gotta make him do it, right? I am dead on board if they if they have a Seamrip in their deck, I'm dead on board. If they see it, of course, but... Because they just go copy Gearhulk, get Seamrip, Seamrip Skyray. I have 1 blocker, block Gearhulk, take 6. Deceit Riddler Cavero into a shelved Dimir midrange. Was it like the one that top 8 at a challenge a couple of weeks ago? I think we played a little. We played something like that. No Excruciator. Okay. So maybe that means they're out of Seamrips? Okay, that's good. It makes this a little bit more winnable. Cast this. Draw 3. Can I attack? Not really, right? No. I think attacking is kind of sus. You're at 15. This game is closer than I thought it was going to be, at least. Yeah, I think we just pass. No discard either. Alright. Your turn. I still don't... I mean, we're definitely not out of the woods yet, for sure. I would say we're still probably not a favorite to win this game, but okay, well. Yeah, that makes things a lot easier. Well, you know. I tried. I think there's maybe something there. With, like, Mutagen Main and stuff like that. That deck was pretty sweet. Deep Cavern Bat. I could beat a bat. It's interesting. Huh. Like there's a lot of ways I can play this. I really don't know what to do. My thinking is I don't need the flail if I get back the elf. So I'm going to do it like this. Hit for 4, play Gran. And then this way they basically can't Kaido me. Like I'm using the Bitter Triumph, which is my answer to Kaido. But if they go land Kaido me, their Kaido is just dead on board, so they can't even do that. So it like kind of basically kills the Kaido anyways, if you think about it. Sure. No, this is just Dimir. I found this deck list from the MTGO challenge, the MTGO League Dump, and it looks sweet. I wanted to try it out. Wow, no Flood Pits Drowner, huh? Kind of assumed they would have had Flood Pits there. I like this. This worked out better than I thought it was going to. Yeah, that's fine. This is fine. And go. Nine. Okay, so now what? They lock down Skyray and block the elf. Guess that does work.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, that's a good one. I accept. I accept your terms and conditions. Bro, Gran with Riddler is just like, whoo! Gran Riddler is kind of fucking... Like, you see moments of brilliance from this deck. Riddler it just works so well with all the discard stuff, you know? So well with all the discard stuff. Alright. Regular, boring-ass Dimir mid-range. What do we want against regular, boring-ass Dimir mid-range? Intrusion, kind of eh. Wanshi, Deathmark. I don't love discard spells against them. I mean, I think just, like, out a spray in a Hex. Maybe keep the spray because it kills Bat. Maybe cut, like, stories. Probably don't have to do much against Dimir. Probably fine. Does machines? I don't know if I like that card if you're not playing any artifacts. I think you want to be playing some number of artifacts to be able to get back with that card. And I think I don't love it without it. Beaver's on top. How bad is it if they Kaito me? It's not great. I need to be mana efficient, though. Playing 7? I mean, I don't know if I would count Springleaf Drum and, like, I mean, I guess maybe it does, because you can discard those, then get it back. Maybe it's fine. So, maybe it's fine. I could see it. I do like the draw 2, discard 2, mill 2 is pretty nice, though. It's true. It is draw 3 with Riddler, too, yeah. This hand is not really panned out that well, I would say. It's not really worked out super well. It's tapped. Arena, don't do this to me! Not like this. Not gonna complain about that one. This might be a psychotic attack, but... I will draw. Kind of surprised they block, honestly. Bro! Come on! Oh, no. Brother, you're killing me right now. You're actually killing me. Yeah, alright. There has been a death in the family. First time I've seen that card. Let me guess, your last card's gotta be Curiosity, right? It always is. Wow, I'm not dead. Holy shit, I'm not dead. Not making Treasure Head to be wrong? Maybe. What if I told you I was gonna draw 3 more lands? Can I even attack? I can't, right? Yeah, I can't even attack here. Apparently, we were not dead after all. Though I think I am still kind of dead. They won't draw a kill spell. You got 2 of them things? Holy. 2 of them things? You kidding me? I should have played my land first. That was really dumb. I don't think it's gonna matter, because they're gonna kill me this turn anyways. Who was opponent expecting to run into it? The Death in the Families? I mean, it's good against Elf. You can't really beat the Elf otherwise, right? I think I actually just have to pass here. Well... maybe I don't pass. The problem with discarding a card is the Elf gets tapped. 3, 6, 9, 12. I guess I can attack, right? Because they have to block. No, because then if I attack... No, that's bad. I'm 1 point short. Because if I discard, I can deal them 6 on my turn, 6 on their turn. But they're at 13, so I'm 1 point short. I think we just don't attack. Because I'm going to win this game on my next turn. And I can beat a single removal spell if I don't attack. You know what I mean? I think this makes the most sense. Yeah. Gran, Skyray, Riddler. If this hand is wrong, I don't want to be right. That was a good draw. 17 for beta, 18 for full release. That sounds about right. I don't know. I don't think I was in the beta. I should play these two. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I don't think I was in the beta. I was going to get an island, but I guess I'm not. Eh, fuck it. I'm in. Could be some kind of demon deck. I mean, all they have is kill spells, so... Why? Why do all these people have exile removal spells, man? Like, what are we doing? Why does everybody want to exile my goddamn Iron Shield elf? I'm gonna convert town into a treasure. And then you're good. Stop exiling my shit! I mean, they're a little ways away from an Ugin. But nowhere to run into play. Oh, fuck. Yo! Il Gato! Il Gato! Base. Is it Il Gato or Il Gator? Wait, you know what I just realized? I think the reason they called this card Cat Gator is because if you take the R out of Gator, it's just Spanish for cat. It's just Cat Gato. You ever think of that? No? Anybody? Look, man, I'm just saying. Draw. 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 We're drawing a lot of cards. Alright, I'm gonna try and kill them. Discard. I can make 2 treasures this turn. I've already played a land, so... I guess I'll just dome them for 6 and pass. No, I should make treasures, right? Because then I can cast the Riddler next turn, just in case something weird happens. The Hex is not going to do anything. Nah, there's kind of no reason to hardcast. I don't think. Because they're just dead next turn anyways, right? To the just play any creature and then discard to flail. You know what's funny? They can actually, because it's Riddler, they can respond to the Riddler trigger and kill it before I have a chance to equip with flail. So technically, if they had a kill spell, they could have like not died that turn. Right, but I want to save the other Riddler to be able to warp for 2 mana next turn. Because if I draw a creature, you know what I mean? Or if I draw a land, then I have 7 mana to go warp here and then hard cast. So I can cast 2 creatures to equip to the flail. I mean, Intrusion's got to be good against them, right? You would think. Hex out of here. I said Hex out of here. I'm going to cut the bitters. Spray also out of here. And then I guess we could do Detect over, like, Cecil, maybe? Maybe, like, a Drummond the 2 Cecils? Nah, let's just do 2 Detect. I don't really want Detect just for removal spells, you know? What's up, King of Games? How you doing today? I guess Wan Shi Tong is kind of appealing if they have field, like with the against the fields, but yeah. The thing is, they only have the fields, right? There's probably no other way for them to search their deck. But maybe it's good enough against just the fields. Get back from HBMO. How'd that go? I gotta make it out to one of those one of these years. $22nd, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not too shabby. What do I care about them casting next turn? Not much. I'm just gonna play my hand. I mean, I guess I maybe care about them casting a Wrath if I deploy my whole hand, but I certainly don't care about the Vestige. That I'm okay with. So let's go cast you. Equip here. Discard this. Nah, doing it this way was kind of bad, wasn't it? Because now if I cast Intrusion, I have to bounce the Moonshadow, which I don't really want to do. Fuck. Shit. Well. Be cool about this, alright? Be cool, be cool, be cool. Please chill, opponent. Please chill. They're at 13? I'm just gonna fucking send everything. Maybe attacking with Elf is bad, but... Equip the Elf. Yeah, I guess if I equip the Elf, that makes their block with Vestige worse. That's a good point, yeah. Because they can't really afford to block Grand Grand here, can they? Now they go to 3. I've been locked out of heaven. Schwamp. This deck is pretty cool. You also get to make 6/7 flyers. He said it, he said it, he said it. Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, no islands, just swamps.